Welcome back to Hooked. We are excited you're tuned in. I hope you've watched our past 3 episodes. The recent one was fire. How do you know? Is there such a thing as the right person? We discussed that, and today we are continuing with our myths single people have about marriage, love, sex, relationships, and we are dealing with this particular question. How do you know they are the right person? Last week we talked about, is there a right person? And some people said yes, some people said no. But right now, so how do you know they are the right person? You sort of like close your eyes and hear a name. Do you sample? Like, how do you know they are the right person? And on set with me today, I have incredible people, 2 gents, 2 ladies. To my left, we have Samuel Elvis Bossa. He's joining us again for another episode. Welcome, Sam.
Thank you.
Good to have you. To my left again, I have Ruth. Ruth, it has Ruth. Yeah, we have Ruth near there. Don't look at me like that. Enjoy the moment. And then to my right, we have the incredible Chanda. She's about to be clearly found by someone.
Yes.
I hope that by the time you're watching it, you'll be found. And then to my extreme right, we have a gentleman who is hooked with the t-shirt. I mean, his name is Matt. I don't think we have met Matt. So Matt, tell us about yourself.
Brand ambassador of Hooked.
I like it.
So tell us briefly about yourself, Matt.
My name is Matan Kwangala. Single. At the time you're watching this,
It might change.
Yeah. You might watch this 20 years from now and I'll be married. Yeah. I serve on a media team. A passionate guy about media related work and all.
All right, so the question is simple. How do you know they are the right person? Maybe you've located what? How do you know this is the target I need to lock in? How do you know they are the right person? I know that some of you are dating. Some of you are married. How did you know they were the right people? Ruth, how did you know Peter was the right person?
Let the married person go first. He has results, right?
Okay, someone else.
Yeah.
You know she is the right person? Because I assume there were many other babes who are cute.
True. First of all, me, I was a very shy person, so approaching girls was a bit hard.
So your sample space was
Was
It was
very
very
limited.
It was like a hole of a needle. So, but how did I know she was the right person? Again, if you've not watched the previous episode and you happen to watch it, I mentioned that I had a list. That was my basis. That this person is A, B, C, and D. I think the key thing for me was a good sense of humor. The rest could have worked around. Yeah.
So your foundation was a sense of humor.
That one, then we had God-fearing, really carnal things, to be honest with you. So that was my basis. But coming from a place of the fact that I was shy, it was so hard for me to say, okay, this is the right person. I'm going to approach them, ask them out, and then we start dating. But I'll give an example for my wife. How did I know that she was the right person? Since I was shy, I just saw from afar, like, that person would be really good to date. Yeah? I just ended there. It wasn't I was looking and I was like, she would be the right person to date. But me finding out that she was the right person in quotes, I put it in quotes because now I have a better understanding, was from a place of the connection that we really had. We are from a place of just a very good sense of humor. We connect with music.
Yeah.
You see, no, why? Because honestly speaking, I can't tell you any other thing that God spoke to me in a vision that this person is going to come to this school, the right person for you. No, it wasn't that. There were things that I had put in place that actually made me think that she was the right person. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
So-
still think?
I know.
That's a trick
right
question.
person.
Don't answer it otherwise. Alright.
Wow,
So you mentioned something to do with lists, and I know that many of us have people have lists, right?
Yeah.
But I had a dilemma. This is why at times I don't believe in lists a lot. I had my list, okay? But there's a time I had a dilemma where there were like 4 babes
With the same things on the list.
with the same things I had on my list.
You're like,
So on
Exactly
campus,
all of them.
yeah, 4 babes. I didn't have many things on my list, but there were 4 babes with the same things on my list. And in fact, the one I am married to now wasn't one of these 4, because for us, you didn't have everything on that list.
I think that's great.
yeah.
So then,
Yeah, I think
so then that's where my questions about a list. You see, it's good that I've met some people for whom lists have worked out, but I don't think for the majority of people, the list actually works. I don't know whether that's an experience for many people. I know that I've met a person like you for whom that is your experience, but I don't know whether that's the experience for many people. So I don't know about lists. I personally believe in them. It's good for you to know what you want. This is the way I look at it. I think there are primary things you need to consider, and then there are secondary things things you need to consider. So in my mind, some of the things on people's lists are largely secondary. Not the primary thing where you get to decide and say, is the one. That's what I think. But I don't know. What do you think?
Let me tell my story. So about knowing the right person who is Peter Mar. So because we are watching this one, I'm getting everyone is sure I'm going to say yes. Don't be shocked. Anyway.
When you say yes.
Anyway, guys, so I also had a list, but I will tell you the truth. On my list, nothing has been covered. Okay, one thing has been covered. The only thing I really wanted that was kind of in a guy was musical. I would say this from childhood because I think my father sings and he knows how to play instruments. As like me, I'm marrying someone who is musical because my house has to be musical. And that's one, it's the only thing. So I think I'm dating Mar. How I got to know he's the right person, I remember the day he asked me out. I didn't say yes. I didn't say yes not because I don't want the guy what. No, I wanted time off with my father in heaven to pray about it. There's unanswered prayer. There's an answer that comes with prayer. There's what we call in the layman language the sixth sense that comes when you pray. I prayed about it. And even after I said yes, I first went in with God, let's go in first with you and let me get to know whether it's the person according to what they keep telling me about their vision. Because I know what God has called me to. That's why in the episode before you kept talking about when you're single, cultivate your purpose, cultivate who you are and where you're going. And you get to know this from you and God. Your father tells you. So I already knew where I'm going. Like I already know where I'm going. So I needed a guy who is going to complement where I'm going. Who's going to say, right now, today, I need you to stop serving. Wasn't going to work. So I needed to listen to every little thing he says and confirm he's the right guy. And trust me, that's how I got to know he's the right person. First, I went to my prayer closet. Okay, the only one kind of thing that I knew was musical. The third thing I knew was his purpose. What's his purpose in life? Is it going to merge with mine and we make one family? Is it going to make sense? Because he may be telling me he's going to be working in the mining industry. And me, you're going to be in the mining in the stone quarry? And I'm here at church. It wasn't going to work. That person would need a woman who is also going to be thinking, yes, I love traveling. So if they say we are mining in Torah, we go mining. We are mining in which Ethiopia, we go mining. Hey, we go mining.
Maybe God send people minds to Christians.
So what you're basically trying to say is that it's not like there is one clear
person.
No, it's not like there is one clear thing that you tick off and say once this is ticked, they're the right person. Because you say that on top of hearing from God, which you did, you had a list and you had like someone who is musical, you wanted someone who is musical, but you also looked at the person's purpose.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough for the person to just be believing in God or to be musical, but you also looked at the person's purpose.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I looked at their purpose. I made sure I listened vividly. What's their vision in life? Guys, like it, I will waste time here, then after that you marry me, then what? We waste time, then I start regretting. No, like let's get the regrets out of the way. I know once and for all, this man is talking exactly what I want. Let's go.
So
Okay, yes.
I think
What do you
from
think?
from hearing from our seniors, the dating, listening to, anyway, from hearing from them, it was just confirming what for me tells me that would tell me that a person is the right person. And for me, the first thing is that a person, what earlier at church earlier this year, sometime back, we're talking about pillars, and for me, that person would be a pillar, like someone who has stood with you through thick and thin. And I know you might be listening and you're like, even a friend can do that. Okay, so let's go to the next one. The next thing, but for me, that's really important. Someone has to be a pillar, someone who is willing to stick with you through thick and thin and is going to be there. Because these marriage things, I don't know, but I think there's a point where it gets hard. I don't know anyway, but yeah, there has to be a person who is willing to stick with you. The second thing, I think, like you said, there has to be a person who is building you and is in line with your life purpose. A person who is complementing you, like you said in the previous episodes. Yeah, and that's another way you can know that that's the right person. And then, for me, the third thing is also really in line with what you said. The person just has to make you happy. Yeah, you'll be there and you're happy. And then the last thing, which is the most important thing, is also what you said, God confirms. Like, not these things of karma. Anyway, people speak to people in different ways. I've had people who say, hey, God told me in a dream, or yeah, God speaks to people in different ways. But either way, there's a confirmation. Yeah, through God, through the Holy Spirit, and you will know. Yeah, so I think through those 4 things, really, those 4 things are there. I think that's how I would know that I've found the right person. Yeah.
So what if along the way they cease making you happy?
No, that is what about them would cease making me happy? That's just letting carnal things get to the way. Just the person just needs to be paddle beaten. Just forget it. Just forgetting who they are. Now you're married 10 years. But then the finances, something is going wrong. Then after that, you're like, the person is not making me happy. Those are just kind of things. You can work on it. And that's something that most people say. These are just things that can be worked on. And then you find people giving up.
So therefore you mentioned, what would you consider your primary reason? Because you said if a person, that one we can panel beat. What is the non-negotiable for you?
The non-negotiable thing, like which will carry me through the relationship, or while I'm choosing still.
While you're choosing through the relationship?
I think they're all equal.
No, they can't just choose one.
I really think it's important when someone is a person who is God-fearing and they are willing to be a pillar. You can get through anything. If someone is willing to stick with you through the thick and thin, even when things get tough and you're feeling like you're not happy, you work on it. Yeah.
Okay.
As long as you're in line.
So for you, it's God-fearing and steadfastness, the ability for them to stay with you throughout the different seasons.
Yeah.
But
Yo!
Yeah.
Okay, so here is the thing. I think I've dated people, and along the way, found that I don't think this is a relationship I want to have for a whole lifetime.
Yeah.
And here is also a thing. When I hear Ruth say she prayed, I've had relationships where my spiritual parents would ask me, did you pray about this? And the truth is, I did not pray about it. She was pretty. And along the way, I found out that, you know what, it's not working. But then there's also this thing of like in one of the episodes you are talking about how the person you date and the person you marry is different,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So there's this thing of putting out your list out there, right? And the person knows your list and they play by the
Yes.
The rules.
That's why.
Yeah, it's
That's
true.
why
They are sharp guys.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I agree with what you said of there are core things
Mhm.
and secondary
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that the core things cannot be forged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
They
saying?
Yeah.
can.
So my list. So my list has like 4 things. Really. It's not complicated. I'm here to add more things.
These are the core things.
Some of them are core, some are
Yeah.
not core. But my list has the person must love Jesus.
Mhm.
That you can't fake.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They have to love Jesus.
Yeah.
The person must respect men and women of God because I'm submitted to a church. I work in a church environment. I serve in church, and largely part of my life is really church.
Yeah.
Let me tell you guys a thing. Last year we registered a company with a friend of mine, Eddie, and one of the things we agreed as a company, like one of the meetings we had, were like our work can never take precedence over ministry. Like we are going to do whatever it takes to
Yeah.
make our schedules align with ministry. So I
Yeah.
take ministry, it's at that level. So
Yeah.
you have the person has to respect.
Ministry.
Man, if you can't respect a man of God, that is the matter. Like,
How will you respect me?
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get. The other one is the person has to have a servant heart, right? Because I really believe that for any relationship to work long term,
Yeah.
that servant,
Must be willing to serve
like
each other.
yeah, you have to do it. And I'm also working on the same things on my side because I feel like if man, I'm not willing to serve you, like if I feel like I'm not going to be able to sacrifice my all, then it's just a wastage of time.
Yeah.
The third man, she just has to be pretty. That's the first, and I think that's canon. But
pretty
it's not
is relative.
Yeah.
Pretty
yeah,
for you.
pretty, yeah, like yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
wow.
it's subjective, but yeah.
I like it.
You like the pretty
Yeah,
part.
I
yeah,
like
and then,
the
and then,
pretty
and then of
part.
course, what he said,
Sense of
I
humor.
think his sense of humor.
Yeah.
For me, that's connection. Like, can we
Yeah.
jazz
Connect.
about? Yeah, can we connect?
Just
Can we?
just
Yeah,
about
can you
Pastor
untegel
Ivan's
that,
jacket,
like,
right?
untegel that? Yeah, like
Actually,
that.
you see what you
It's
see
my
my
Yes.
after thinking about
me,
it,
yes.
I really never had the thing of if they pass this, and this, they'll be the right person. I just had if you are able to connect, the rest will work out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, that was the basis. I want to also come from a place of being spiritual and say that I wanted that person to be prayerful or what. Those things are not there, like honestly speaking. The only thing in my head was,
Connect.
I can't sit there when this person is boring. You get it? I need to be really you connect
Or when
with
you're
them.
boring.
Boring them. Like how you mentioned that sometimes you have these expectations for people, but then you don't do them. I think we
Yeah,
talked about
yeah.
in one of the previous episodes.
Yeah.
We don't. I think also this is really important. I knew that I could make people laugh or something like that. I have a good sense of humor. So I expected the same thing for the other person if I was to relate with them.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. Can't you connect with also friends? What if you had connected with multiple people? Or is that, or should I take it that that's just because of your personality? Because you were shy, you were just like, nah, get who I connect with.
I don't.
There are very many people that you could connect with on a basis of humor, but you see, when a specific person, I won't say the right person, when a specific person,
Mind you.
when you found a specific person, there's a specific connection you have with them. You get
just
it?
know.
Yeah, like I can't meet Ruth. Hey, we laugh a lot, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Ruth is the right person.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
think Vic is the right person. Chanda is the right person just because you've laughed.
Mhm.
There's a specific connection you have with that person.
Mhm.
Get you.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting perspectives. I was shocked that none of you ladies said you needed a guy with six.
Who's Mark?
Yes, I
Those are the kind of things that I do.
away from those.
You want people to
If
judge
you watch
us.
his movies, you want people to judge you.
Yeah.
Well, moving on swiftly. Wow, what an interesting discussion. My story is a bit radical and different.
Tell us.
Yeah, how did I know they are the right people? I had my list, I told you. At a certain point, I was so confused. Because my list had more things. Someone said I am a colorist. No, I am not.
Who
I'm
told
not
you
a colorist, I
No,
won't say.
No, I want to confirm or not.
Someone said over what my list. I needed a dancer. I needed a babe over who prays what, how many hours. I needed that babe who is of a certain skin complexion, who is of a certain figure that I won't mention here. and of course, one was born again. And at one point, there were 4 babes. Like,
They had
everything. That's why I was confused. I was very confused about everything. I'm like, I have my list, but they're taking everything. They knew we connected.
Yeah.
Some way, some I sang with them, some they were just friends. What we connected. They ticked everything on the list. We connected, and I mean around the same. Because some people consider age.
Yeah.
Some people consider height. There are people who go ahead and do personality tests. I don't.
Yeah, we've done this one.
We've done.
To see whether or what. I personally think, in a way, they help you get to know the person's current state, but in a way, they are limiting if you decide to look at a person solely through what they found out from the personality test. Because I think people change over time.
Yeah.
And it's good to give people a benefit of doubt. Anyway, some people do all those things. Personally, I think, because this is what I did once I was very confused about it, I decided not to pursue any of them at that point. Yeah, I decided to say, okay, right now I'm confused, my heart is not settled, let me pursue all of them. I need my heart settled with one person, clearly one person. And I believe in God. I mean, God for me is the ultimate person. Before I do anything, I consult, I pray. And so I went and prayed. I did something radical. I fasted for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Okay, did fast for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Got
me.
I'm
answered.
checking.
This is how I went about it. I fasted for 3 weeks. And your journey will probably be different. You probably
Yeah,
go about
yeah.
it differently. But this is what I did. I fasted for 3 weeks. And during that
No,
fast,
if you have 4 confusing beds,
That's
what
what
would you do?
To remove the 3
Wisdom. Wow.
because when the 4 were there, that's when I saw my wife, Baby. That's when I saw her. I'm like, hey, is now this one. I like her, but she's not anywhere on the list clearly. As much, apart from the fact that she's God-fearing and she's cute. The rest of the other things are not on my list. So I prayed about it, and there's a scripture I love so much. The scripture in Proverbs 3:5-6. I'll read it for you in the Passion Translation. It says that trust in the Lord completely and do not rely on your own opinions. We have opinions about who they should be.
Yeah.
But the scripture says trust in the Lord completely, not in your own opinions. And it says with all your heart, rely on Him to guide you, and He will lead you in every decision you make, including on who you will say yes to or who you will choose.
Yeah.
And then it says, become intimate with Him in whatever you do, and He will lead you wherever you go. Now, I love that scripture so much. And so what happened with me is that I went and prayed.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that after I prayed, by the time I came back after 3 weeks, it was clear. I don't want to tell you that God spoke to me in an audible voice. No, it wasn't audible. It wasn't audible, but in the depth of my heart, I just got a certain peace, a certain sense. I didn't know everything about her. That's why I don't believe a lot in people who say, first sample, check if we can give birth. Over we what? Actually, I'm telling you.
Yeah, they're
People first go out, make out, and then they're like, can she give birth? If she gives birth, maybe.
See?
I'm telling you.
But so, so you prayed.
Yeah.
And God
I prayed.
told you.
And
No, like
Okay, God
God
helped
helped
you
you
to
to certain peace.
yes, I got a certain peace about her
About the
because I went
person.
with options in my mind. I'm like, God, there are these 4 babes, they're like this, but my heart doesn't feel comfortable about them. Then there is this one babe. My heart feels completely comfortable about her, but she doesn't have the things that are on my list. help me decide who is it or who. I'm
Yeah,
confused.
it's a helper. Okay.
So that's how I went about it.
So, do you think in that sample space she was one of the people who was in the well, how do I say it? There's a sample space God has chosen for you that in this sample space there are the people that I want for you. Then she was the one person took from that sample space and put in this space.
No, I think the sample space God has prepared for you and I is, especially if you're a believer, is that you should marry or date a person who believes in God. That is the sample space.
And is of the opposite.
And is of the opposite sex.
Yeah, yeah.
That is the sample space.
That
Now,
is the
from then on,
Your choice.
Yeah.
that's what I think happened with me. So, for me, I personally believe the fundamental guide for a person to make a decision should be one, consult God. Seriously, consult God. Pray about it. He mentioned how many mistakes he made when he prayed, when he never prayed about it. Seriously, pray about this thing. Ask God about it. But also there will be times when you will do that, and maybe for some of you you've done it, and maybe it hasn't worked out. Don't condemn yourself. Use that as an option because God restores. So you can go back again and see. Maybe you need another. I don't know. Maybe you did hear right, or maybe you had right that something never worked out between the two of you. It shouldn't be a cause of condemnation for you. So one, pray about it. Two, I think what everyone here says, you need to be able to connect with the person.
Yeah.
I have another one.
Yes.
The other one is being accountable.
Yes.
To someone who is higher than you.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the person you like your spiritual parents, if they walk a journey with you, your disciples, they know you
Very well.
and very well. And so they will not Uganda. Yes? They can't in English. They can't let you mess. They can't let you go astray. Like they're going to guide you. Like I feel like when you're accountable, it's also one thing that will guide you and you don't make mistakes. Because you're like, you like this person and you talk to your spiritual parents.
It's true because I talked to my
And they'll tell
some
you.
of them, and then
Yeah.
they will put off some people like this one. We want them out of the way. This one out of the way. This is what we want. This is gonna be good for you. And you see, they are seeing, guys.
Pizza, Peter, what up?
Yeah, everyone needs counsel.
And counsel.
Friends, we have run out of time. But thank you so much for tuning in. I believe you found that discussion very, very helpful, and I believe you've gotten a few markers. I think we can talk about some of the markers in our next episodes. But what do you think? Could you share some of your thoughts, some of your what do you look out for when you're making the decision for the right person? If you already have the right person, you're married, you're dating, what happened? How did you get to know they are the right person? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and get your friends to like the video and share the video. If you'd like more information about this, you can find information in this book. It's a really, really good book. The link and details about it are in the bio on the YouTube channel. So please check it out in the description. Thank you so much. See you for our next episode. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you, Matt. And thank you, Chanda. Bye-bye.
Bye.